It is 3 days before Christmas, and if you are anything like me, you just put your Christmas tree up yesterday. You still have a million and one gifts to wrap for other people, and you may have forgotten to write out your holiday cards in advance.
What? You didn't buy any cards?
Oh no! Well, lucky for you, I have a solution. Today we are going to make 6 holiday cards that are super easy to make, look amazing, and will not take you much time. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. To make this happen, I have my gouache. I have an assortment of different papers because I want these to be kind of mixed media. I have my Fine Tech pearlescent paint, my Kuretake Gansai Tambi gold watercolors. I think that the Kuretake set is actually opaque enough that I'm going to use some of these as well. I have the envelopes for the cards, and then also some pre-made watercolor postcards from Edger Labs. If you don't already own a bunch of like random sheets of paper like I do, you can buy these like books of paper at any hobby store. They come in a zillion different designs. You can find a whole bunch of them, and it's just a really simple, easy way to have a foundation for a design for a card. So we just chose 6 different designs, and that's going to serve as a base for the concept for just a couple of the cards. There will be a couple that don't utilize these, and I'll show you how to do that in case you don't have just random collage type sheets of paper. I think we're gonna do 3 designs using the paper and 3 designs without any scrap pieces of paper or anything, so that you come away with ideas that utilize kind of more of a collage or mixed media effect, and then ideas that don't. First, you're going to just want to cut all of your pieces of paper out to the size that you need. So I recommend taking your envelopes, measuring to get the correct size, and cutting to about 1/8 inch smaller on each side. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to glue these together, and then I'm going to put them underneath a book to dry, and we will move on to the more simply painted options. For the next 3 cards, I am just going to use my gouache. I've got 3 different sizes of masking tape to kind of mask off some little details. I take out my black ink, and then I have my watercolors and my gold watercolors. So we're gonna try to make 3 elegant designs, one of which I think is going to be a Christmas tree. One will be a more just generic abstract kind of holiday design, and then one I think will be more like ornamentation, like the hanging ornaments that you tend to see frequently at this time of year. We are going to start with the Christmas tree design. For this, I want to do a border in gold and a background in gold. So I am taping off first the border, and then the background will be clearly defined by the inside of the tape lines. So I do 2 tape lines, one inside and one outside, and I start by painting with my light gold for the background. I then use my more opaque gold for the border that will encompass kind of the background and breaking up the card. I used my Fine Tech paint for this because it is just a little bit more visible. And then we can start, once that is dry, painting the tree. I do this in pretty simple layers using the base of my brush to kind of create a gradient effect, if you will, for the tops versus the bottoms of each branch. I also purposely leave white space for this design because I think it makes it look just a little bit more authentic to how a real tree looks. From there, I paint the tree skirt, kind of employing the same concept for this, utilizing the base of the brush to create that gradient outward so that the color kind of gradiates out. The star, I use the tip of my brush to paint each point individually. This is the easiest way to make a star, in my opinion. And then I use my gold paint to create some garland on the tree. Again, once that is completely dry, or at least mostly dry, and then utilizing my colored paints to create little ornaments coming off of the garland. Super simple. Truly anyone can do this, and it makes such an adorable, elegant card that anyone would enjoy. You can try this with a variety of designs using this same concept for the composition, and it will look amazing. Try it out, let me know what you think. For our next design, we are using a wet on wet technique to create some holiday ornaments. As you can see, I had already wet the paper, and I'm just going in with a first layer of watercolor for this design. I've chosen to do these in blue, green, yellow, and red because I think that having a variety of colors creates kind of a cool design, but you can obviously tailor this to the person that you're giving the card to. It would also be really cool to have it all kind of in neutrals, to do like black, white, gold, and silver ornaments, whatever floats your boat here. Because I am doing so many different designs today, I didn't tape any of the paper down, but to be honest, I would highly recommend taping your paper down so that it warps a little bit less than mine has here. Whoopsie! They totally touched, which was my bad. So I ended up accidentally making the last two ornaments a little bit too close together. So when I applied the yellow paint, it bled into the next one. So I am just drying this off, and then I will wait to do this last one. That can totally happen with wet on wet technique. As you can see, I was not able to fully lift the yellow color off, but in the end, I think that it will work out okay. I then, once these are dry, go back in and do some additional coloring to the ornaments just to try to create a little bit more contrast and a little bit more intrigue. And then I am able to, once dry yet again, add the gold embellishments to the ornaments to make them look really pretty and elegant. I chose a variety of different colors for this based on the background color of the ornament and a variety of different designs, as you can see. I then apply the tops of the ornaments in that same color to keep it consistent, and then apply the strings to each of the ornaments, just going up into the top of the card. You can get as creative as you want with this design. It is really versatile. This next design is perhaps the most fun of all. I take a pretty textured brush and my gouache paint, and I just pick a color and start creating brush strokes. I do these all in the same direction, but you don't have to. You can do any direction, any brush size, anything that you want. Pick any colors that are applicable to the holiday that you are celebrating or to the person that you're giving the card to. I chose the classic red, green, and white for Christmas since that is what I personally celebrate, but you can get as creative as you want with this one as well. It is just a concept to get you thinking about what type of design will work for you. I use a variety of different brushes and brushing techniques here to create some cool textures in this design. Again, you can make this what you want, and it almost always looks really cool. Like, there's no real way to do this one wrong. Just pick your colors and create a design on the card that is really abstract yet visually pleasing. Have fun, go wild, and enjoy the results. The next card is perhaps the most simple of all, having used a sheet of paper in the background instead of painting the background. I just go in with my black ink and am simply writing the words Merry Christmas in kind of a cursive-y, calligraphy kind of font. This looks really cool and is, again, takes 5 minutes once you've got the paper glued together. And if you just wanted to do this on a plain white piece of paper and add embellishments from there, this would take you maybe 5 minutes, but is a handmade card that you took time to make and looks really pretty. I added a border to this one using my silver watercolors just to add a little bit of shimmer. As you see, is kind of a theme in a lot of these card designs. I personally think that that elevates the design and makes it look really cool, but again, you could do this with a solid color and it would look just as good. I add a little bit of holly to finalize the design, and this one is complete. This next card design is unfortunately dependent upon having a piece of paper that is already a holiday design. To this one, I simply added a Santa sleigh with gouache and then continued to paint just a little bit of a design from the trail of the sleigh. I will say gouache paint did not work very well on this paper, as you can see the beading, but it did end up drying down just fine for the final design. Perhaps the most complicated and time-consuming of the designs, and admittedly least holiday-esque of the designs. This one I made for my sister specifically, and I guess my point here is to utilize the supplies and the things that you have to make a creative design that is tailored to the person that you are giving the card to. That will make it really meaningful, and it doesn't have to be complicated. As you can see here, I did like little to no drawing on this card, so you don't have to be particularly artsy to make this one happen. You just have to get creative with what you've got. I've done this in a variety of ways in the past, making paper flowers, making a paper tree. Like, truly, you can do anything. The sky is your limit here, and I would encourage you to, again, just get creative, consider your audience, and make something heartfelt for them. And now the last thing is just to put the backs on them. So we're going to do a variety of different backings. I have some metallic paper that'll go on the back directly, and then we'll cut out some white paper so that you can actually write on it. Some of them will have just the ornamentation kind of paper that we've been using on the back, and I feel like these are light enough colors that you can write on. The silver one, I pulled out a piece of gray paper to go with it, so we'll apply the backs to these, let them dry, and we'll be done. We did it. To do this, I used the same glue that I had been using, glued onto the back of the card, and just stuck the back on. I then continued this process with the paper that I had cut to size. I think that this adds a really cute little border to the back of the cards and makes the writing area more clean. But you can do this however you like with whatever you have available to you. So I just want to show you guys like the catastrophe that is my desk after doing all of this. Paper scraps, paint, glue, everything everywhere. But I did also just then want to show you, this is kind of how I've set up to push these down. I've got them all laid out here. I'm gonna push that guy back under. And then I'm gonna put some heavy books on top of this so that they all get flat, and I'm gonna leave them like that overnight. Once they were all flat, I laid them out so that you could see the final results of each card. I do think that these turned out really pretty, and I am going to be giving these to the people in my life. I really hope that you had a great time watching this video. Go get creating your own holiday cards, and again, I encourage you to get creative and have a lot of fun with this process. And then, now that we're done with actually assembling our cards, I did just want to mention how I kind of finish it off. I bought a bunch of these blank envelopes so that I can just put them in here, seal them, and then I have these little envelope sealer stickers. So one of those will go there. And then to personalize these, I like to put stickers on. You can get any number of stickers. This is just a small assortment of mine. You can get letters so that you don't have to write on them. I did also pull out an assortment of pens that I would typically use to write on these. So either like a fountain pen, the Pentel Signo brush pen, a white pen, a gold pen, anything that you have that kind of adds some fun embellishment to these. That can be a really fun and creative way to present your handmade card to someone in the envelope. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below if you made any of these cards, and I wish you all a super happy and safe holiday season. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye.